What about The Sopranos? So you were on that for a bit.
Yeah, I had a little arc on The Sopranos. I was in the second season. I was in like episodes. I was in 5 episodes. I come back in a flashback, and so all together, because I get residuals for 6. So,
Nice.
So I count 6. Yeah, it was a nice little part.
Yeah, and were you friends with Michael Imperioli? He's a friend of mine, and I think he mentioned, actually, I did a live show with him a few months ago. We did this kind of thing, but on stage in New York. And he mentioned you. He said that nobody really gets just kind of plucked out of, gets a lucky break and gets plucked out of nowhere to get a role, except my friend Lillo. So he was talking about exactly that. But he also went on to say it's not just luck. You know, you work, you do your thing, whatever. So you have the luck, whatever. But you're friends with him. You were.
He's one of the best actors I've ever worked with.
He's amazing.
I'll tell you, you know how smooth he is? Like that scene we did in The Sopranos when he puts the matchbook under the scale to rig the scale when the guy's weighing the fish. We worked with him that day. You know, I mean, it was us 3. That's it. Nobody else. It was us 3. So I can really watch him. And he's so smooth, and he's such a real trained actor. I've worked with movie stars. I'm not going to mention any names, guys, that not even close. They're just like mechanical. They go and they do it. They look good, and the name's big, so it sells. But then you got real actors. You got a guy like Michael Imperioli. Smooth. The way he takes his time, the way he absorbs it. It's so real, and it makes you so much better because there's nothing to fake. How are you going to be fake with the guy it just happens? It happens so easily, and it's great when you get to work with guys like that, because you know your day's going to be easier. Because like sometimes you work with actors, it's like pulling teeth. They're not giving you anything, no ammunition to do what you have to do.
I guess he kind of raises your game, like being able to do scenes, like you can be even better yourself and not just not worry about it, but actually raise your game a little bit, level up your acting. So The Sopranos, you have good memories then? Like it was a good time, or what do you remember most?
Sopranos, we did have a good time, but you know, by that point, because the first season was such a big success, that now we're like part of this really, really special show that the whole country is going to be watching. So it's like the show has a reputation to uphold. So you gotta be on your A game. There's no because so many people are going to see you. And you got to really you know what I mean?
Yeah. And still
it's
now,
kind of
by the way.
Being huh?
Oh, it was nerve-wracking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew Gandolfini. See, I knew Gandolfini already. I knew Gandolfini already from Crimson Tide. We worked on Crimson Tide. He had a small part. I actually had a bigger part than he did. And when I first saw, because I read for the first season, but they told me I was too young for Brendan Fallone. Remember Christopher's friend? Got shot in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
I read for that, and they said, you're too young. They said, you're too young, but they said, if we get picked up, we'll bring you back next year to read for something else. So they did. They brought me back from Bevilacqua, and I got the part. But I remember, after they told me I didn't get the part, I didn't really even think about it, because I was auditioning for other stuff. So it's like, all right, you're not going to get them all. So later on in the year, I remember watching HBO, and I remember, the trailer for The Sopranos. And I'm watching, and then I see Gandolfini, and I'm thinking, that's the guy they chose for this part? Out of all people, that's the guy? What are they crazy? All right, I'm still going to watch it just because I want to see the part that you know what I mean?
But you thought it was not a match, or not a good fit, and they could have cast somebody better.
I didn't really know him.
Right.
And there's so many more obvious choices for that.
By the way, you know who told me that he was considered for the role of Tony Soprano is Danny Aiello. Did you know him?
Yeah.
Did you meet him? You've met him in person or no?
Oh yeah. We did a play on stage.
Love Danny. I love Danny.
I love him. Rocco, closed up. I'm trying to think of Aiello in that role. He would have worked. Rest in peace. He's a brilliant, brilliant man, brilliant actor. Great. I just think that role was made for James Gandolfini.
And that's what he said also after he realized. He was like, please, nobody else could have done it. It's, everybody thinks that, obviously, now, after seeing him play, after seeing Gandolfini play it. But
three roles that come to mind that no one else in the world could have played. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando as the Godfather. And, you ready?
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, Rocky.
Well, totally.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Buckers. Come on. He's good.
Well, that's his. By the way, he wrote that. You know that he wrote the screenplay?
Right, but that's why. Like, you could, great. I love Rocky. I love that character. He's such a good guy, right?
Right. And really, they didn't want to hire him to play Rocky. They were like, all right, we'll take the screenplay, but we're not going to, we're going to get a different actor. And he was like, no, you can't have my screenplay
unless did that with the Bronx Tale.
That's right.
And I think Chaz was absolutely phenomenal as Sonny. No one could have played that like him. One of the things is, first of all, you didn't know who he was. And that's a good thing with Gandolfini, because you can believe he's Tony Soprano. But when you have some iconic movie star coming in to play a role, it becomes less believable as they become more iconic, because you're that guy.
Yeah, but you know what? That's true.
Right.
But you know what, though? Marlon Brando, I think, was pretty successful by the time he became the Godfather.
I know that,
well, he's
But
Marlon
that's
Brando.
Marlon Brando.
Come on. I know.
That's the one and only.
Exactly.
And that character, because if you see him, and the whole thing, the bulldog, he created that character.
Right.
Paramount executives went to his house. His nephew answered the door. They told him they wanted to speak to, and he said, tell him, hold on. And I heard he went in and he put the shoe polish stuff, and he put some cotton in his mouth to make it sound like that. And Matt, when you come out, I don't care. Listen, that's, even though it's Brando, that's not Brando. And now you got this best actor ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's totally. It's so totally.
Because he did movies like Guys and Dolls and this and that, and then he comes and plays Marlon Brando, the Don. It's such a thing with the cat. It was perfection.
Okay, ready? The Godfather or The Godfather Part 2?
Godfather 1.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Brando. Sonny, who was awesome. Come here. Sonny, I like Salazzo. Salazzo was awesome. I like Clemenza. I just think the characters in the first one were better. My favorite in the second one was Pantangeli. Frankie Pantangeli. You remember what his nickname was?
No, wait. No. What was his nickname?
His nickname was Frankie Five Angels.
Okay.
Remember when Tom Hagen went to see him when he was in federal custody?
Yes.
Remember he gave him the cigar. He just came back from Cuba. Remember we were talking about the old Roman empires and how the people used to sacrifice themselves and used to go in the hotbed. They used to cut themselves open. He was a true Cosa Nostra. He was a true soldier the way he went out. Because when he saw his brother in the courtroom, that was deep, And he knew, I can't do this.
That's right. All I need to do is sit there, and that was it.
That's all you had to do. I can't do this. This is in our blood, man. We're Cosa Nostra. We're gangsters. Yeah. I can't do this. It's the worst thing I could do. The worst thing in the world I could do is right now. And he didn't. And I remember when Tom goes, don't you worry about a thing, Frankie Five Angels. And his name was Frankie Five Angels because his last name, Pantangeli. Penta is five, a pentagram. Pantangeli, Five Angels.
Mm-hmm. So you really know your stuff. You get really
I love that kind of stuff. This is what I want to do. I mean, I love film.
Do you read a lot too, or you just watch a ton of movies
over
and over?
I do read.
And what do you What do you do? How do you get yourself immersed in this stuff? Do you watch the same films over and over again, or what?
I don't know. I think it's just that I was meant to do this kind of stuff. So I notice things that someone else wouldn't notice.
By the way, I want to say something also is that when I see you on screen, like with your new movie, Fifth Borough, again, we'll talk about that too. When I saw you on Wasted Talent, I really think the camera sees something too in you. Like, this is what you're made to do, I feel like. You know what I mean? To be, I don't know I feel like you're saying filmmaking too, like not just acting, but right. I don't see your filmmaking. So I do see your acting. So that's why I'm seeing it in that. And I'm telling you about that. But do you feel that? I produce
a film. Yeah, no. I love it. I love it. And I have so much more in my arsenal now after being away and just experiencing life at opposite ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Because like I said, my life changed that quick when, gunshots started, and my life changed just like that when I met the guy on the beach. So it
Right.
was
So
two
the
times.
second one was obviously because you started by telling me about the first thing that changed, which was a Bronx Tale, and then the second thing was obviously that night with the murdered cop.
Right.
Okay. And so how did that? I mean, obviously, I know how it changed life for you, but like, what about the things you don't normally talk about? Like you're saying now, like it changed everything. Like what?
I mean, someone lost their life behind my addiction. So now that's something that it's gonna be on my conscience. It's something that I'm gonna think about for the rest of my life. And every single day to this day, I think about how I wish that night was different. You know what I mean? How I wish I could have changed its outcome, because he didn't deserve to die. He's a 28-year-old kid. I was 29. Mother and father just like me. When I saw his father at the funeral in the front row in his wheelchair crying, it broke my heart, because he looked like a man like my father, the way he was dressed, old school. And I'm thinking, shit, that could have been me, and that could have been my funeral. Like, this kid didn't have to die, not behind this bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's sad. It really is, and that's why I try to help as many people now. And that's why I stay sober,
Who was
and I
the
work out
guy?
every day.
Yeah. Who was the guy who shot him?
He was my ex-girlfriend's father. And I only hung out with him because I loved her. And she was going to medical. She was trying to go to medical school. She was taking her MCATs. My drug addiction spiraled so out of control. We lived together, but she's like, I can't do this anymore. I got to study it. I'm trying to be a doctor. And, she broke up with me. I was like heartbroken at the time. And then I started using way more drugs. And then when I would go by her house, she would like call the cops and all this other stuff. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start getting closer to her father. So when I come to the house, it will be for him. But it's really to see her, even for 2 seconds. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm hanging out with this guy who I don't really know. I just used to see him high and by. You understand? Or maybe we smoke a joint together, like nothing. He's not going to reveal a dark side in front of his daughter. He's going to reveal I'm the girlfriend's father. He was a little rough around the edges, but he's not going to talk about gunplay and just not appropriate conversation. So it's just like the girlfriend's father, and we knew each other like that. So now I'm starting to hang out with him like that. We did, but then we were doing drugs together, snorting heroin. That's not normal. But we never went out after hours until that night. So now he calls me up. He says, you want to go get a drink? And I'm like, yeah. I had some dope in me. My legs felt good. No body aches. So we went out that night, went to a strip club. We got crack first. Went to a strip club in the Bronx. Another one of my friends ran the place. We walked right in. We did not go through the metal detector, which is very important, because if we did, I didn't know this guy had a gun. There was no need for a gun that night. We're going to get a drink. Why should a gun be there? Why should I know that there's a gun there? We're going for a drink. We're drug addicts. That's what I'm thinking. More liquor and more drugs. I'm okay with that. Going to kill somebody when I've never been in trouble in my life and I'm a stone cold junkie? Do you think I want to go put myself through that? Do you think I want to go put myself in jail right now where I'm going to get sick and I can't get drugs? You think that's what I wanted to do that night? They make it out to be like we were two cop killers and this was plotted, and the way the press made this out to be was like, these guys killed the cop. Hey, listen, I didn't have a gun. There were 3 people there that night. 2 of them were armed. I wasn't one of those people. So that kind of shows my intention right there. There's so much to that case that people don't know, that it's never written, because it tells that I am not guilty. And it shows that my mens rea and his were 2 totally different things. You understand? Like
what are some of the specifics that haven't gotten out? Like, let's get it out. Let's say, you know what I mean?
Okay. Now you tell me, okay, what you think. So I was charged with felony murder. Felony murder is when you attempt to commit in furtherance or in immediate flight therefrom a felony, a non-participant dies. That's felony murder. That's what I was charged with. So this is what felony murder is. Say you and I just did a robbery. We get in the car and we're speeding away. Kid's in the street. Because you're driving so fast, he's got to move the other side. Now somebody else hits him. You killed him. That's felony murder. Okay. That felony, because that's in immediate flight therefrom. A non-participant dies as a result of the felony. It's felony murder. We were in the commission of a burglary. allegedly, okay? A burglary, allegedly. Window was broken, which does not mean it's a burglary. That's destruction of private property. I even had my friend Charles Magner testify that I used to climb through his window in the middle of the night to get pills. And he said, but Lillo wasn't robbing us. He didn't want to hurt us. He just knew that I had drugs. And he had his little thing on with this thing around his neck. And it says that he had back surgery and he used to get OxyContin. So of course I'm going to go to his house. When I'm desperate, I will climb through your window, not to hurt you. That's what drug addicts do. Okay. But let's go back to this. Now, if you knock out the burglary, you knock out the felony, there's no felony murder, right? You knock it out, then everything else goes away. The only way there's murder is if there's felony. Without the felony, there's no murder. So my main goal was to beat the burglary or the attempted burglary, which I didn't, and I didn't get convicted of felony murder because I used the affirmative defense, which I can go into later. But here's the thing. A burglary is defined as when you knowingly enter and remain unlawfully. That's the first part of the crime. So I knowingly am going in this place when I know I'm not supposed to be. Okay? That's what a burglary. I know I'm supposed to be, but I'm going.
Right, which you did.
Huh?
Which you did do. You went to this guy's apartment?
Right, but not right. We never went in.
Okay. And okay.
It was not a burglary. Okay? And then the second part is with the intent to commit a crime therein. So it's an unlawful entrance plus a crime. It doesn't specify larceny or whatever. It doesn't specify. You could go punch somebody in the face. That's a crime. If you're breaking in illegally to punch that guy in the face, that's a burglary. But I got to prove 1 and 2. I got to prove this and this. Okay. If you felt that you had license or privilege, this is the law, not Lillo. If you felt that you had license or privilege to be in there, it's not a burglary. Okay. I don't know if you know this or not, but you know I was shot, right?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know if I knew that. Okay, so you were shot.
Can I show you?
Yeah.
I was shot 3 times unarmed. See that?
Yeah. Wow.
I got shot 3 times unarmed.
Wait, so 1 was in the center and 2 on
one
the side?
That's where they went in and took my spleen out. My colon, part of my colon. I had a collapsed lung. I got shot first, and I did not have a gun.
Okay. I think I lost the details. So you were shot 3 times.
Right.
That night.
Right, first.
Okay.
Now, I'm grabbing my stomach, and at first, my fight or flight, my survival mode, boom, kicked in. It snowed the night before. There's blood everywhere, all over the snow. It's literally squirting out of me. It's freezing out. You see the smoke from the blood. It's all over my hands. I got steam. I'm trying to keep it in so I don't lose as much. I'm hobbling down the road. And as I'm going down, I hear additional gunfire between the 2 men. Okay? I don't know what happened. Okay? I know one guy got killed later on, but I don't know how that happened. I heard. Okay? And I didn't know Steve had a gun. So when I heard boom, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like somebody hit a power line. Because obviously the other guy had a gun. He just shot me. We did not know he was a cop. And so now, as I'm going down street, okay, do you know what a spontaneous utterance is?
I guess I could figure it out. You just say something suddenly for no reason. Yeah. Okay.
You utter something spontaneously.
Yeah.
Comes from the subconscious. And there was a spontaneous utterance that tells that I'm not guilty of this crime. Not even the burglary, okay? We had 2 witnesses. They were Puerto Rican, the Montalvos, older couple. They didn't even speak English. So they were our witnesses. We had them. We even paid for a translator so the jury can hear what they had to say. They testified that on the night of December 10th, or early morning of December 10th, 2005, they heard a male voice screaming in desperation, okay? Which we later on established was this person right here, screaming, Kenny! Kenny! Okay? You know who Kenny is? Kenny is the guy whose house we were allegedly burglarizing, okay? Remember, license or privilege, okay? License or privilege. I didn't write the law, they did. I'm going to die. I'm getting weaker every second. I didn't scream, Mommy! Please, please, I'm going to fucking die, please. I didn't scream for the guy I was with. Armento, Steve, please. You know who I screamed for? The guy Kenny. Subconsciously, that's where I thought I had my most legitimate shot at getting help. My friend.
Oh, so you were calling out for drugs? Is that what you're saying? That you really were doing? No. I missed the point
I'm
totally.
shot. I'm going to die. I'm shot.
Yeah.
I want him to help me. I'm going to die. I didn't call for the cops. I didn't call for my mother. I didn't call for Steve. I called for him. Like, come help me, please. Which means I liked him more than the guy I was with. This is subconscious. This is not thought out. Now, if that doesn't spell I had license or privilege, I told them, I'm not breaking in. He's my friend. I used to go through his window when I was a kid, and I used to go through the garage for drugs. Okay? So this is exactly what I thought I was doing. Would he have gotten mad I broke his window? Yeah. But when he saw me, would he have been okay and probably offered me something to eat or drink? Yeah. It's not a burglary. It's not a burglary. You got two men that know this situation differently. His mentality was one. My mentality was another. Just drugs. Let me get drugs. I want to go home. Obviously, he was carrying a gun and had bullets. So obviously, your state of mind, your mentality is a little different here. But you know what? I got thrown right in with all of that. And I got beat up and just beat up for so many years because of this. And I came home and I never got in trouble. Parole, you could go ask them. They'll say he was one of the best ones we ever had. Respectful to everyone. Why don't this stuff get written? How the guy's changed his life, has devoted his time to helping others who are struggling with addiction and doesn't want to see someone else get killed by someone else's addiction. Why doesn't this stuff come out there? But that's just the way it is.
So you totally got clean afterwards. Like you got clean, I guess, while you were in prison, right?
No, yeah, but I still used while I was in there.
You did? How does that work? What is that?
Well, drugs come in. You know, there's a lot of corruption in Rikers Island. I mean, officers bring it right in, and it's that simple.
So it's just like in all the movies and TV shows, you say. So you could get it. You kept using while you were there.
It's even worse than you see in the movies, believe me. And then, I would get it like that, or I would go to church on Saturdays with the guys in the medical dorms, and they were all in wheelchairs, and they would get morphine and everything. They wouldn't take it. And then on Saturday would be I get the mother load. I would go get like 20 MS Contin, morphine sulfate Contin, and I'd be high all week, you know? And then I overdosed on November 12th, 2006. And then I continued to do it. And then November 18th, I got an attorney visit while I was in the hole. And my friend Corey, the guy that I told you before, my cousin Pat, they were so disappointed. They said, "What are you doing, bro? You know those people, we love you, man. We want to see you beat this case. Still getting high? Don't you stop that shit, bro. Don't you see the fucking person dead because of this? Come on, man." And I don't know what it was, but that day, something really like, you're right. Like something just sunk in.
So something switched, like almost like the light switch?
Yeah.
And that was that?
Like God took the devil out of me that day. He said, "Leave this guy alone. I need him. He's going to help me. He's going to help me do my work." Boom.
So what did you do? How did you get clean?
I just told myself I wasn't going to do it anymore.
That was it? No help?
No, because, I was in a box. I was in a hole, in a room by myself. It was the perfect place. I had to dry out a little bit, but my habit wasn't so bad because I wasn't getting it every single day. Mm-hmm. I was just enjoying it here and there on the weekends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So thank God my habit wasn't like I was doing like 20 bags, sniffing 20 bags a day for like 2 years, and now I got to stop. Your body will break down. You will lose your mind inside. That's what happened when I first got there.
So what happened? So how long has it been now since you've been clean?
November 18th, 2006. So it's going to be like 14 years.
That's a really long time. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, I don't think I'll ever go back. A lot of people say, "Oh, don't say that." Alcohol is the trigger. It's the catalyst. Alcohol, if I took one drink right now, it would ruin my life. One drink, I'd be smoking crack within an hour, and I'd be out for a week.
So you haven't had a drink even since 20?
I haven't had a drink
2006.
since 2005. The
Okay.
night we got in trouble was the last time I had a drink.
What else are you up to now? If you like this video, please make sure you smash that like button and tap on subscribe for more real talks with your favorite celebrities. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Make sure you tell all your friends to check out Really Famous with Cara Mayer Robinson. They're the worst videos ever. You gotta check them out. Thanks for watching. See you soon.